Let's discuss about today's agenda. In today's agenda, we talk about what is Jira, the concepts of Jira, what are the different features the Jira is having, why we are using Jira in Agile, and we will do a few live demonstration on Jira tool, and there will be a question and answer sessions. Okay. Is my screen visible to you? Okay. So in this session, we'll talk about the Jira tool. What are the concepts of the Jira tool? Different features that the Jira is having, and we'll talk about why we require Jira tool in Agile. And I will give you a live demonstration on how you are going to use the Jira tool, and a question and answer session will be conducted. Right? Now, talking about the Jira tool, your Jira tool is one of the tools that you can use to manage your sprints in Agile. Okay, the other tools that are there in the market is your Rally tool. Okay, initially the Jira tool was created to track the issue in any environment. Okay, generally, initially it was used by the testers, right, to report bugs and defects. The Agile board in Jira is similar to the Kanban board. Now, the question you guys will ask me, what is this Kanban approach, right? The Kanban approach was founded in 1915 by Japanese industrial engineer, okay, to make the life easy for the shopkeepers to understand the shop floor environment, right? Here, the shop floor environment means those people who are associated with heavy machinery, or those who are involved in the production of the goods, or those who are involved in managing the inventory, they are going to use this Kanban approach. This Kanban approach is a physical board that they are going to place in their workplace to track how much work is waiting, how much work is in progress, and how much work is done, how many tasks are done, how much work is done, right? To track the status of the work, okay, so that they can see how the work is going on and is it moving into the smoothly, how the workflow is moving smoothly, right? With the help of Jira tool, hello, is my voice is clear to you? Yeah, yes. With the help of,
Your voice is breaking. Hello?
I think please, Ram Kumar, if you can check with your internet connection, because yeah, please check with your internet connections. Okay, so I will try my level best. I will be loud. Okay. So the Jira tool is used for prioritizing, for assigning, for tracking the tasks. Okay, and generally, as I said, that it is used with the by the testers for reporting bugs, defects, right? It is also called as a issue tracker, right? It is generally used to improve the productivity by tracking the issues and by coordinating with various teams through this Jira tool, right? Now, this one application will be used for many things, right? For if you are getting any change request, you can mention your change request. You can track your change request through this. It can be used by your customer service or your support team. It can be this application will be used by the project management team. It can be used for task tracking, for requirement, for RTM, requirement management. You can track your requirement with this tool, and the workflow, or you can maintain the process management, right? But as a business analyst, we are using this tool only for managing our agile. There are different features that are there in Jira tool. First is your issue creation. You can create tasks in this. You can report bugs. Okay, you can you will be having admin authorities in this, right? And all the issues will be traceable through emails or Excel sheets. You can download your all your sprints or your user stories in the form of Excel sheets, right? You can create an issue through web also by filling the form on the web pages, right? You can send the email for the pre-configuration. You can configure your email address with the Jira tool, right? Now, generally, the basic questions that are asked is why we use Jira tool. In simple terms, we can say that with the help of this Jira tool, we can track the issue. Okay, whatever, if you are creating any backlogs, everything that is created in Jira tool is called issue. Yes, it is a web-based application and it is an open source. This product, your Jira tool product, is a licensed product. Okay, and this product is from Alt Essence. It is an Alt Essence product. Okay, before going into the depth of the Jira tool, my question to you all is if anyone can explain me the agile process. Anyone who can voluntarily come up and explain me the agile process. I want this session to be an interactive session.
Hello.
Yes, tell me. May I know who's the name?
My name is Kumar.
Yes, tell me, Kumar.
Yeah, Agile is a process in which we break the projects into small pieces as user stories, and after that we try to work on them. And there are different steps to that we first prioritize and we first categorize and prioritize and then work accordingly. Every day we run and they are run into sprints. So in every sprint we check what is done, what is it that we are going to do, and what are the obstacles that we will be facing.
Okay, okay. Anybody
That's all
else?
I know.
Okay, good, great. A very good attempt from Mr. Kumar. Anybody else?
Hi,
Yes,
Hi
tell.
Shilpa, I'm Ankita.
Yes, Ankita, tell me.
Agile is a method in which we create backlogs. Sorry, in which we create user stories, and each which we save these user stories in a backlog. And at the every meeting, we make sure that each user stories is developed. And in the best features of Agile is that it's very short, and the change request is not that complicated, and time taken in Agile is very short, and it's accurate.
Okay, good, great. Anyone else?
Shilpa, this is Parimal.
Yes, Parimal, tell me.
See, Agile has many methodologies. To start extreme programming, Scrum.
Yes.
These are there. Apart from lean development, all these things are there.
Yes.
But Scrum is more adaptable, and the IT industry is more adaptable towards Scrum. So it's more Agile is more of like a lightweight model. Okay, and it's more on the less on the documentation, more on the interaction levels most. Okay. The main value is more of individual interaction, and it's more comprehensive on documentation, customer collaboration, and responding to the changes actually. So it's break down into the user stories. Just to start with, any requirements is broken down to the user stories, and from there it is moved on to the product backlog and then to the sprint backlog. See, the entire thing is unlike a waterfall sequential model, each step is there into the after completion of each step, then the next one starts. But here any requirement which comes in the interim of the project, in the middle of the project also can be handled with the help of the Agile Scrum thing. So it's more of a adaptive, and any requirements can be worked upon, unlike any other model actually. So it's more of lightweight, and it is not cumbersome actually, in short.
Very good, nice. Anyone else?
Hi, this is Sachin here.
Yes, Sachin, tell me.
Uh, Agile process is basically a combination of incremental and iterative sort of process.
Mm-hmm. Yes. Okay, fine. So you all guys gave the right answer. Okay. So your agile is a lightweight model. Okay. And there is no documentation, or we can also say that there is only a minimal documentation that is there, right? As a product owner, you are going to conduct, I'm giving a brief overview of the agile to you, okay, before getting into the Jira Agile. So the product owner is going to conduct a user story workshop where a user storyboard will be prepared. The product owner will elicit requirement from client and the stakeholders in the form of epic, and then it is going to be broken down into the various teams and the user stories. Okay, the product owner is going to take the acceptance criteria and the business value from the client. Okay, once it has been done, then a product backlog refinement meeting will be happen between the product owner and the scrum team, and the scrum master will be there. The scrum master is going to facilitate all these meetings, right? The product owner will take the complexity points and the story points in the form of planning poker cards from the scrum team. Okay, they are going to use this while giving the estimation. They are going to use some estimation, effort estimation technique. They are going to work on the complexity buckets. There are four complexity buckets that they are going to use. The first is the user interface, that is your UI design. Next is the code. Next is testing, and then database. Based on the complexity of the feature, they are going to use Fibonacci series, that is 1, 1, 2, 3, 5, 18, 13, 21, and after that a big, right? Or they are going to use a t-shirt method, that is your small, medium, large, or extra large. Okay, once in the product backlog refinement, the complexity point has been given, the Scrum Master will conduct a first planning meeting, that is a sprint planning meeting, and in that sprint, hello, yeah, in that sprint planning meeting, the product owner will start preparing the product backlog. Okay, he will first take MVP, minimum viable product, then he is going to use the Moscow technique here, right? Once the product backlog has been prepared, then the Scrum team will be involved in preparing the sprint backlog. The sprint backlog will consist of product backlog index, task, work in process, and done. We call this sprint backlog table as a Kanban board also. This has been taken from the Kanban approach, right? And same thing we are going to implement in Jira tool when we are going to prepare a sprint backlog. The same thing, the product backlog will be prepared in the Jira tool and the sprint backlog will be prepared in the Jira tool, right? So from here, the Scrum team will start preparing the sprint backlog. They are going to take user stories from MVP to the product backlog index, and the Scrum team will divide this product backlog index user stories into various tasks, and they will move to the WIP, work in progress. Okay, after this, if your sprint is of 2 weeks, your sprint planning meeting will be of 4 hours. If your sprint is of 4 weeks, your sprint planning meeting will last for 8 hours. Fine. After this, the next meeting that are going to be conducted is your daily scrum meeting, or you will call it as a stand-up meeting. It's a 15 minutes meeting. Okay, in this meeting, your scrum master will ask your scrum developers that what is the status of the work, how much work has been done. Okay, if it is done, then it will be moved to the done state. And if it is not done, then what are the impediments they are facing, what are the challenges they are facing, he is going to resolve it. If they have hello if they have done, then the new task will be forwarded to the WIP. Next is your once your technical team will inform your Scrum Master that the shippable product is ready to be delivered, then the sprint review meeting will be happen. In the sprint review meeting, the product owner will discuss with the client, have a review on the Scrum, on the product, on the application that have been prepared, and if there is any change requests are coming, it will be taken care into the product backlog refinement or into the product backlog grooming session, and will be kept as a MVP, right? Once your sprint has been done, the sprint retrospective meeting will be conducted between Scrum Master and the Scrum developers. Okay, and here they are going to ask what are the lessons learned from the previous sprint, so that those mistakes will not be repeated into the upcoming sprints, right? This whole process is your agile. In Jira, we are going to work on product backlog preparation, and we are going to work on sprint backlog preparation. Your Jira tool, it's a purely drag and drop functionality is there, right? Now moving towards the Jira tool. So this is how you're free. You can try free for 15 days. You can try free this Jira tool. Okay. For this, you have to go to the Alt Essence site. You have to click on try it free. And then you will go to Jira software plus documentation, try it free. Again, click on try it free. It will load the page here. Okay. So you have to fill this form and you have to click on start now. Once you have clicked on the start now, it will show you this page, welcome to Jira. Okay, and you can browse your picture and keep it here, right? Okay, this part is clear to you, how you are going to use the Jira. Any questions, any doubts that you are having?
You are breaking.
Hello. Yes, please
I
ask.
I think
Is
your
my
voice is
voice
breaking too much.
okay? uh, From my side, I just had the sound check. The internet connection is proper. Please check your internet connections. Okay. So, any questions so far?
The question from me. Shilpa, this is Parimal actually.
Yes, yes.
Just
Tell
one
me.
question. See, you said this is more of a tracking and everything you can do. But what if if someone has to communicate to the client, how what can he how can he is there an
There.
option to
Yes,
download
yes.
something? And,
See, it's you are going to download also, and you are having the admin rights to whom you are going to give this access for the particular project, because you are going to create by project name, you are going to prepare into the Jira tool, and then you are going to give the access to the client. The client will be given the username and the password, and then he is going to check it. Any other question? Okay. So now moving towards the Jira tool, we are having two tables there. One is product backlog in Jira and other one is sprint backlog in Jira. A product backlog is a high level list where you are going to create the customer, the owner requirement, and as a product owner you are going to prepare it, right? And in the product backlog you are going to list all the tasks, all the user stories. Firstly you have to list down all the epics, then you are going to break it down into the various user stories. So you are going to create issue or subtasks. You are going to organize the backlog. You are going to create versions there. You have to organize all these user stories with the help of epics, and then you are going to start the sprint. Whereas in sprint backlog in Jira tool, you are going whatever the sprint, whatever the user story you as a uh, Scrum team you want to start working on, you have to drag and drop it to the sprint backlog table, and then you are going to start working on it. So this is how the user stories and the sprint items will be created. The user stories are created like this: product backlog entry. Okay. Step 1, you have to choose the issue type. What is the issue type you are having? And you are making a product backlog entry. So like this you are going to prepare. If you are moving towards the sprint, then you are going to take issue type as a sprint backlog entry, right? And you are going to provide the sprint ID also, the name of the sprint, right? In the same way, in Jira, we are having two boards. One is your Scrum board and one is your Kanban board. One is your Kanban board. For accessing a board, you are going to, if you talk about the Scrum board, your Scrum board will consist of backlogs, active sprints, or reports, whereas your Kanban board will consist of your Kanban board, backlog, or reports. The only difference in your sprints is of 2 weeks time, that in a duration there will be a time bound activity that are going to be worked on this. The sprint ID here means you are going to provide what is the sprint. It's the first sprint, second sprint, or third sprint. So that is your sprint ID. Okay. So there are two modes that we are having in Scrum. One is your plan mode and one is your work mode. In plan mode, in Jira tool, you are going to prioritize your backlog. You have to provide story estimation. You have to create sprints. You have to prepare story points. You have to do the estimation, timely estimation. You have to work on subtasks. You have to create subtasks. Okay. So all these stuffs will be done in the plan mode. Next, this is how your plan mode will look like, and this is a epic. In the epic, this is your inventory deal. This is epic and create issue. You are going to create issue in this issue in the epic. That is your user story you are going to create, and like this, you are going to create your all backlogs here. Okay. Now, when you are going, how you are going to move your backlog to a sprint backlog, you have to drag and drop this user story into the sprint. Okay, and then you are going to start the sprint. Now next is your work mode. Your work mode is where the you are having all the user stories which you are going to work in the particular sprint, and you are going to prepare the to-do list in progress and done to show progress. Okay, it will look like your, if you remember your sprint backlog, how the sprint backlog table is, in the same way it is going to look like. So first is your work in progress, then is your tasks, then is your first is your product backlog index, then is your task, then is your work in progress and done state. So this is how you are going to prepare your work mode. But the work mode is nothing but the sprint backlog, and your plan mode is nothing but your product backlog you are going to create. You are having the next is Agile reports. You can prepare your Scrum reports through Agile. You have to go to Agile board. You have to go to reports, and there you will see automatic generated reports will be there, where you are going to see the release burn down charts. You are going to see product backlog uh, charts, or sprint backlog charts will be there. Any questions so far?
Shilpa, in simple, can you explain Scrum board and Kanban board? In just, in a
Yeah,
simple
I will show
words, so
you.
I
I
can
will
know.
show you. So this is how you are going to create a new project. Click on create a new project. See, you are having, for creating objects project, you are having two options. One is Scrum software development, one is your Kanban software development, right? You are not going to follow Kanban software development because there you are not going to provide the story points, yeah, right? There you are not able to provide the effort estimations, right? So you are going to work on Scrum software development. You click on this, and then you are going to move on next. Okay, here you are going to provide the name of the project. I am giving the name Hospital Management System, and the short form of my project is HMS. Then I am going to submit it. This is how your board look, the Jira board look. Okay, this is your backlog. If you want to see, you can see the backlogs here. These are the active sprints. If you have moved the sprints, here you will see the to-do list, the work in progress, and the done state. Okay, here you can see the releases, how many releases has been done in which sprint, right? Here you will see the reports, your burn down charts, your sprint reports, your velocity charts will be there. Okay, so all these reports you can generate. Then you will see the issue. As right now we don't have any issues. Okay, so these are the components that are there in the Jira software. Okay, if you are going towards backlog,
Parimal, can you please mute?
so you can create a new project also in this. Okay, so far any questions? Any questions so far?
Shilpa, this is Sudhakar. I would like to ask, we have first project we need to create, and then we need to create version, then epic, and then
Yes.
so is it the sequence? So the project will have more than one epic, and epic will have more than two. Can you please explain that
Pardon,
flow?
come up again. Your voice is not audible to me.
Yeah, actually, if we go to create, it's showing that create version and then epic, right?
Mm-hmm.
You shown the slide.
Mm-hmm.
It's having the plan thing.
Mm-hmm.
So, is it like we need to create first version and one version will have multiple epics like that? I mean, can you
Yeah,
please explain that?
you can create that also. Okay, this is how you are going to create epic in a Jira tool. Okay, go to create, you have to click on create. The project name will be there. You have to choose the issue type. So issue type you are going to choose epic. Okay, so here you are going to write the name of the epic. uh, Login page. Okay, you have to write the summary, and you can prioritize it high, low, medium. Okay, you can attach it also, but right now we need not, because when you are creating user stories you can attach those user stories with epic. So epic cannot be attached. Okay, so this is how you are going to create a epic. Yeah, I need to provide a summary.
So, sorry, Shilpa, we do this only when the change is requested while we're doing the process, or we do this from day one?
From day one, when you have created, you are going to create your user stories into this Jira tool, right? So you are preparing your product backlog. For product backlog, you have to prepare with epic. So firstly you will receive your user stories in the form of epic, right? So you can, and then you are going to break it into various user stories. Okay, you can see that this here I am having my epic login page. Okay, now in this, if you want to create a user story, you have to click on this. So this login page is a issue, right? And you can write down here your what is in detail, what is the user stories, right? You can view also the epic details when it has been created, and how, what are the different reports that are everything. If you have assigned it, you can check the assign also to whom it has been assigned for work. Everything will be done here. You can go back here to the product, the backlog. You can see the versions also here, how many versions we are having. You can click on the epic, you can see the epic. Okay, in this you can create a epic again. A new epic will be created. Like this you are going to create the epic. And
What's the difference between Epic and the backlog, Shilpa?
see, epic is just like the backlog. In the form, epic is nothing but a big user, big story, big feature which you are breaking down into small. Let's suppose you want a login page. Your login page is an epic, and then you are breaking down into user story that as a user I want a username, so that as a user I want a password, so that. So these are the small user stories that you are going to create for a epic, that is a login page. Is
And
it
the
clear?
backlog?
Yeah. You are
Yeah, I'm
creating
clear with
everything.
you.
See, your product backlog will be prepared by the product owner. And what is there in the product backlog? It is all the requirements of the user.
Okay. So backlog is given by the user, and whereas we create a epic for the backlogs and we dig into deep of login page and password, then we solve this.
Yes.
Okay, got it. Cheers, thank you.
Okay. So here you are going to, now in, for this epic you are going to write a user story, right? So you have to go to create issue in the epic. You are creating an issue. Whatever you are going to create in the epic is your issue. Everything in Jira tool will be termed as a issue. So you are going to click on create issue. Okay, and you are going, the issue type will be your story, because right now you are writing story, user story. the summary of the user story is you want a username. Okay, so here in description you are going to write in caps, as a user I want a username field so that I can enter my username. Fine. And then you can again prioritize it, high, medium, low. Okay, and you can link this issue also. You can assign it. If you want to assign it to your team member, you can directly assign it to your team member also. Okay, and you are going to create it. So now you have under Epic, you have created a user story. Under Epic, you have created a user story.
And Shilpa, the reason for giving a priority is because we want that things to be sorted based on the priority from the.
Yes, yes. So here you can see the epic. You will create epic here, and under the epic, if you are creating any user story, it will be showing in the backlog. It will be showing in the backlog. So I'm creating one more user story.
Hi Shilpa.
Yes.
Sorry to interrupt. I just have one question. We are
Yes.
assigning priorities based on the priorities which are selected by product owner.
Pardon, come up again.
No, we are assigning priority to a particular user story under this epic, right?
See.
So are these based on the priority given by the Scrum Master or product owner?
These are
Sorry,
the
not Scrum
priorities.
Master.
These priorities are nothing but the Moscow technique that you are going to use, right? And these priorities will be given by the Scrum team.
Okay. Thank you.
Welcome. So this is how you are going to write your user story. Okay, so is it clear to you guys that how you are going to write a epic, and under the epic will be flashing here under the epic list, the epics will be flashed, and the user stories will be flashed under the backlog items. Is it clear to you guys?
So this means the backlogs can whatever write in the backlog can also seen by the owner.
Yes, definitely. Because you are going to provide the access to the owner also. Because let's suppose if he has to make any changes, how he's going to make? So you will provide the admin rights will be given to the product owner also to work on it. So you are at the same time your Scrum team can also view all these things, and your product owner and the Scrum master can see all these things.
Then if the product owner can see simultaneously, then before we're talking about the a fortnight or a weekly basis, then it would be even daily basis also if the change is required.
Yes, definitely. But for that there is a procedure. Okay, so this is how you are going to create. I'm creating one more user story for a forget link. As a user, I want forget link field so that I can retrieve my username or password. Fine, create. So I have created in one epic, I have created 3 user stories. Now I can.
Shilpa wants to.
Yes, tell me.
Shilpa, we haven't given any business value for this thing, and the complexity points we haven't given for this particular thing. Do we also capture something here in this issue?
See, I will tell you. When you click here, if you want to see the detail of the user story, you can see the detail of the user story here. Okay, I have clicked here on the password and you can see the detail of the user story. Okay, now you want to give the complexity point or the story points, right?
Correct.
Okay, we will do. Okay, so what we need here, we need to configure here, we need to edit this. Just give me a second's time. You have to go to configure, not just hold on.
Shilpa, I think can we give it an estimate?
Yeah, there is because here you can I'm not that you will get a configuration link where you are going to configure it. Okay, that configuration field is not showing here where you are going to provide the story points. Yeah, this is the configure field. You have to go to configure field. Okay, where is my field, right? And here whatever you want, if you want the story points to be added into the field, you can add the story points here. Okay, and close. If you see, it will be added into this field, story points. Update it. Let's see. Okay, one more thing you need to do is for adding into the story points, you have to go to the configuration screen. We'll see one more time the configuration screen, because every time they are just updating this. So every 15 days they are. So whatever field you want to add, you can edit here. Okay, I have added this story points. It's mentioned here. Okay, is not present on from. Actually, the status is showing that it is not present right now, so it will not get added into it. But this is how you are going to add if the fields are not there. So you can configure those fields with the help of configuration field. You can edit there, right? Okay, at present we don't have, but if you want any fields to be added, you can add it there. Now let's suppose this is your product backlog and you want to create a sprint. You can click on create sprint, and then you are going to drag and drop your user stories into the sprint, whatever you want to. Okay, so now you are going to start a sprint. It will automatically tell you the sprint name, the name of the project and the sprint one. The duration is of 2 weeks, the start date, okay, and it will automatically give you a 2 weeks date after 2 weeks, 6th October, and you are going to start it. Now you can see it has moved to the sprint backlog, which we called as a work mode. In this is a work mode. Here the team will drag and drop it into the in progress, and once it is done they will move it into the done state, and the same way the other tasks will be done and they will move it into the done state here. Now okay,
It will be moved after the 2 weeks of the
yes,
duration, or just
within 2 weeks, within 2 weeks, within 2
and that
weeks.
duration will be selected by us, isn't
Yes,
it?
once you have done in the sprint, once you have done with the work, then you are going to move into the done state. Same, this board is the same, the board which I am discussing here.
Shilpa, is this the sprint backlog also?
Yes, this is a sprint backlog. In Jira, we called it as a work mode.
Okay.
Clear? Okay. Then it is saying that within 9 days, your sprint is going to be complete. The sprint were done, 2 issues were done, and the interim will be moved to the next. If it is any backlog is still not done, it will be moved to the backlog again.
Hi Shifa, this is Ram.
Yes. Yes.
So this sprint backlog is prepared at which stage of the, after which meetings?
See, it is prepared in the sprint. See, once your sprint planning meeting is done, after that you are going to
Okay.
prepare this sprint backlog. Your Scrum team will prepare. What they will do for every user story, they are going to create a subtasks. Here they are going to create a subtasks. Right? If
Okay.
you remember, if you see this image, they are going to pull from product backlog, they are pulling it into the sprint backlog, and they are breaking into the various tasks. So with the help of this, they are going, they now they got they got this user story. The your technical team will create the subtask into this user stories.
Okay.
Right?
Okay.
Any other questions? If you want, I can create one more time.
Shilpa, I just want to ask you one question. So this entire Jira is open to only products master or Scrum master, or is it open to everyone within the project?
Within the project, it is open to everyone who is there in the team. 7 to 8 people are there in the team. It is open to everyone. You can make the change request. If the change request is coming, you can track the change request. The testers for the product related, the testers will assign the bugs, defects to the concerned developer through the Jira tool. Right? The product owner is going to use it for writing the user stories and for writing your you can mention your user stories. Below the user stories only, you're going to mention the acceptance criteria. There is no separate field for writing acceptance criteria, but where you have mentioned the user stories, below that user stories you are going to mention the acceptance criteria also.
Okay, thank you.
Any other questions?
Shilpa ma'am, Sugat here. Hello.
Yeah, I can hear you. Speak louder. Please speak louder.
Hello, this is Sugat.
Yes, Sugat.
Yeah, ma'am. In Jira, this complexity points is story points, correct?
Yes, 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 yes.
Okay, and my second question is this: the burn down charts, which is the product burn down chart and sprint burn down chart,
Hmm.
how it is prepared? It is automatically prepared once we,
It is automatically in Jira tool. It is automatically prepared.
oh, okay, okay,
Uh,
okay. Thank you, ma'am.
but there is one question like you told that the Jira tool is shared between the 7 or 8 members
Hmm.
of the Scrum team.
Hmm.
So, like the senior business, maybe the product manager, the
Hmm.
project manager.
Hmm.
So, does he give the permissions of like who can do what on the Jira tool?
Yes, yes. The Scrum Master. This all activity will be done by the Scrum Master.
Okay.
So, Shilpa, the backlog is always created by the owner.
Yes, the product backlog will be created by the owner only. If you want, I can create one more time. Okay, I'm creating one more.
Owner in the sense client.
The product owner. The product owner. The product owner is a person who is a subject matter expert from the client side, or if the client is not having a subject matter expert, then he can request IT firm to provide a product owner. So product owner can be a BA, right? Or sometimes in some companies it can be your project manager also.
All right.
Any other questions? So I'm preparing a epic for registration page. And create. Okay, so I have created one more epic, and this is a registration page epic. Now under this epic I'm going to create a user stories. Okay, for creating the user stories I will go to create issue in epic. Okay, so I will click on create issue in epic, and I will write that customer name. I will give the description here as a user. I want customer name field so that I can enter my name. Okay, and you can prioritize it. You can assign also to, if you want to assign to anyone. Okay, you can link it with the previous user stories. Okay, so I want to create it new, so I will click on create new. So you will go, you will see here the registration. Under this, the registration page you can see. Okay, now we'll go to project. So here under this you can create all the backlogs. Let's suppose you want a customer name, you want a customer, you want a age field, you want uh, your address field. So all these will be a small user stories you are going to create. Then you are going to drag and drop it, because at least you should be having 3 to 4 backlogs. Then only you can create a sprint, right? So for this, You can see 2 for registration page, 2 product backlogs are there. I will create 3, 4 more. Okay, now I'm going to create a sprint. Your sprint, for creating a sprint, the Scrum team will see, will whatever the user stories they are going to complete into the sprint, they will drag and drop those into here. Okay, I want to work only on those. Then I will, the Scrum team, the person will click on Start Sprint. It will show the sprint name, the duration of the sprint, the start date and the end date. Okay, what will be the goal of the sprint that you have to write. Then you are going to start it. It will move into the sprint backlog. Okay, this is how in Agile, in Jira tool, you are going to maintain your sprint backlog. The to-do list is your, all the user stories will be there. You are going to drag and drop into the in progress, and then you are going to drag it drop into the done state, right? For this, you are having an option. The Scrum team will create a subtasks within a user stories. So this is, these fields you need to fill it. Okay, so this is how you're going to create your user stories, and how you are going to maintain your product backlog and your sprint backlog in Jira tool. Any questions so far?
Shilpa, we dragged it from the backlog to the sprint, but my question is, do we have to manually drag from to do to in progress and in progress to done as well, or it happens by default
No,
based
we
on the
have to
duration?
manually drag it.
Then where does this 1 week or 2 weeks duration takes place in the process?
We go back to the sprint, active sprints. Okay, tell me, what is your question?
So my question was, we dragged it from backlogs to sprints from bottom to top in the previous page. And again, in the that's fine, but moving to further, then we see all the moved backlogs from to sprint. It will be on the to-do list on the left-hand side. So my question is, when we move from to-do to in progress and in progress to done, and where does this 2 weeks duration take place?
Yes. And this all will be done in your this daily Scrum meeting. In this, all things will be done in the daily Scrum meeting, where Scrum Master will ask you how much task you have done. Then it will be moved. If you are facing any impediments, then what is the impediments that you are facing, right? If you are going to take new tasks, you can take new tasks there. Okay, let's suppose if within 2 weeks, if within 2 weeks of time, the few of the tasks that you are not able to do, then it will be moved back to the product backlog.
Okay, the duration only implies to the starting point and the finishing point, not between the process.
Yes.
So within 2 weeks, if you did not manage to move this and finish this from to do to in progress and in progress to done, then it will move again backlogs.
Yes, you are right.
Excellent, thank you.
Welcome.
Shilpa, we don't capture the daily meetings, Scrum meetings here in this Jira.
No.
How will we don't capture anything here.
No, we don't.
And
capture.
the second question is, and the second question is, say we are trying to create user boards and all this, user stories and all these things. But do we what to capture, what to create and what not to create? It is generally done into the sprints. We generally break into the sprint. That prioritization is done. It's manually discussed and just captured here. That's what it's discussed between the teams and it's captured here. That's what
Yes.
And the third question is, see, whenever a change request comes, we have to do feasibility study, impact analysis, and the effort estimation. How do we capture it here in the Jira tool?
See, here, in this, because for the change request, as I said, that you have to, again, the same thing you are going to follow. The new change requests are coming, you have to create same Epic in the form of Epic, then in the form of user story you have to break it down. There's nothing is separate change tracker you are going to maintain.
See, my question is that we have to do the feasibility study, impact analysis, and the effort estimation. Do we capture those things here somewhere?
No.
To get it?
No, you are not going to capture anything here. Here you are going to work only on your user stories, creating the epic, creating user stories, and how you are going to finish the task in 2 weeks time.
Shilpa, considering that there is we have the tasks are assigned and then 2 weeks or 4 weeks the sprint size has been set. Now after that, if the 2 weeks deadline is not met, automatically, like you told, that it moves back to product backlog.
Yes.
So do we see any tool within the Jira where it is showing us that whether the project is on time, lagging, or
Yes, in reports you can find.
okay.
So just to summarize, when we get the any change request, the first stage would be started with the epic and followed by the use cases.
User stories,
Sorry, user stories, and then creating user stories, then moving from backlogs to the sprints.
Yes.
And sprints from to do in progress and done. Okay.
Yes. Okay. If let's suppose I don't know right now. Generally, what happens? There are few fields which are not there. Okay. If you can see in this, if you click on this edit option, you can see the few fields are not there. The story points, you have to add story points that are not there, which you can add with the help of configuration field, right? Where is my field? Whatever fields you want to add into this, you can add priority, Moscow technique, or assigning, or if in the field your story points time tracking is not there, you can edit there and close. Then you have to go to projects. Under projects you will click on hospital management system. I don't know why that list is not flashing, so it will show the list of all these fields where you are going to drag and drop it there, and you are going to add it into the into this your the fields. That field will be added there, but at present it is not showing. I don't know why it is not showing there. I was trying to find out, but I don't know why it is not showing there. So you can add those fields also. There is a place where you can add those fields also. If the fields
And
are
the
not
fields
there,
would
yes, you can
and the sorry.
ask.
And the fields would determine the change of changement that we required in the process,
Yes.
like calendar or any other submenu.
Yes.
All right. Okay.
Any other questions?
It sounds to me like pretty much like a Scrum Master, owner, project manager will be handling this Jira software.
Yes.
In terms of like a BA role, what things he might be doing in case if you come across this software in the company?
See, your role as a BA, if you are working as a product owner, then definitely you are going to use this tool only for writing epic and writing user stories and acceptance criteria. That's it. And preparing a product backlog. Because when you're adding, you're preparing a product backlog. When you're adding a user story, you are automatically preparing a product backlog, right?
Okay, thank you.
You're Any other questions? Any other questions you are having? Otherwise, we can wind up the session.
Shilpa, the one you just showed about the slides, PowerPoint presentations before in the class, do you mind if I just ask you to forward to our emails? Is it okay?
Okay, no issues. We'll give you the PPT. We'll provide you the PPT. That is not an issue.
Okay.
Anything else?
Shilpa, will you send this to all, that PPT?
Yeah, I will provide you that PPT. Will send these PPT to everyone who has joined this session.
Okay, thank you.
Welcome. So Uday has asked me a question regarding what is the difference between stories and the tasks. Your user stories are nothing but, just I said that your login page is an epic, whereas your user story in the login page is your username, your password, your submit button, your forget link. These are the user stories. So you are going to break the username into the different tasks. Your task can be of UI design task. Your task can be of the coding task. Your task can be of your database. So these user stories will break down into small tasks based on the 5 complexity buckets. Clear? Uday, is it clear? Any other questions, any other doubts that you are having, you can ask me. Just give me a second's time. I'm just reading your query. Yeah, I request to the few participants, they have not written their names. Please kindly write down your names. It's showing me waiting for the name. Please write down your names so that it will be easy for us to track and send the PPT to you all. If you are not going to mention your names, it will be difficult for us to share this PPT with you.
It will be good if you could please let us know the burn down charts if we can see how.
Pardon, can you just bit louder?
The burn down charts.
Yes.
Yeah.
It will be automatically generated by the Jira tool itself. You need not to do anything.
Where we can see that?
Yeah, you have to go to reports, click on the reports. So this is how it's time for a retrospective meeting. Okay, so you can create that. Okay, this is how your report will look like. We didn't I have not done much into this, so this is showing me this report. Okay, there is no limit for writing epics. It's n number of epics you can write in a project. May I know your good name, who has written this query? You can create n number of epics. Any other questions, any other doubts?
Shilpa, may I have your email ID, please? Is it the same track.mentor@gmail.com?
Yes. Your good name?
Taufik Jamadar.
Okay.
So
Anybody
if we have
else?
any queries
Yeah,
further,
you can.
we can check
Yeah,
in.
You can
Yeah.
anytime. You can.
Shilpa, where should we
Say.
enter the name? You were asking about the name. Where should I enter the name? You was talking about the name.
Yeah, here now you just right click on the arrow mark just next and edit your name. So it will be for those who have written waiting for the name, it will be difficult for us to track you and send you that PPT. Okay, so generally what happens in I'm summing up this session. So this is the this page is called your plan mode. In Jira tool, we call it as a plan mode. When we are going to move into the sprints, when we go to active sprints, we call it as a work mode. Okay, we call it as a work mode, right? And few more queries are there. Just give me a second's time. Any other questions? Any other doubts you are having? Epic would be from who is the may I know whose query is this? The epic would be from top down or down up. See, the epic will be it's not top down or bottom up. Epic can be any big story, okay, and there is nothing like top down or bottom up or down up. Okay, the other query is from Sunendranath. It is a process that takes time to solve the process in 2 weeks' time. It showed under burn down. Is it right? Yes. Generally, your sprint is of only 2 weeks' time. If you see, when I created a sprint, it automatically gave the start date and the end date also. The start date is the date when we created the sprint, and the end date was automatically predefined, mentioned there. So your sprint is only of 2 weeks. Okay, but we say that it can be extended to 4 weeks also, but generally, as per the tool, it is of 2 weeks only. Yes, this tool is generally initially this tool was used by the testers for bug tracking and for issue tracking, right? And it is a project management tool also. So I hope most of your queries have been resolved, and I think all of you have given your names. Okay. Okay.
Shilpa, I am not able to find this field that I can mention my name.
May I know who's this?
Myself, Shakir. I'm not able to find the field to edit and mention my name.
Okay. Please mention into the chat box. Please mention into the chat box. No issues. I will take it from the chat
All right.
log.
Sure. Shall I mention my email address instead of my name?
Yeah, sure. See, in Agile, we are not following the SDLC generally. Every work is going on simultaneously. It's not the phase by phase we are working on. Okay, so in Jira tool, we are working on design also. We are simultaneously working on coding also, and we are simultaneously doing testing also. Right?
Is there any possibility to send the recording of this particular session, entire session?
See, I told you that for this session, for free sessions, we don't send the session recordings. You can, the query is, without creating Epic, can I write a user story? See, you have to write the epic, and for every epic there is a user story. It is mandatory in Jira tool to write the epic, and then only you can write the user story. So my small request to you guys is, can you just open if you can give me your Google reviews so that we can conduct this session again, okay? And the things that you want from our side, we can work on that. So it will be great if you can guys give your Google review and send a screenshot to track.mentor@gmail.com for the session, for the Jira tool session. The PPT will be provided to you guys. Yeah, no issues. Ram Kumar, no issues, no issues. You can send later on. It would be great if you guys can share your review so that in near future session we can conduct such sessions again. Okay. And yes.
Hello.
Yes, may I know who's this?
Yeah, this is Akash here.
Yes, tell me, Akash.
Can I request a small thing?
Yes.
Can we have a recording of this session, please? Because as a beginner, this session was too quick for me, and I mean, it would be great if I could go through it again.
See,
So it's just a small
frankly
request.
speaking, for this, yeah, we will conduct the same session. We'll conduct every week. We are going to conduct these sessions, okay? And we will again conduct this session. Try to join this session also, okay? Once I have shared with you PPT, go through the PPT, understand PPT, go to the Altesson site, try it free, click on the free, okay? Then the step-by-step process which I showed you, go through that process, okay? And when we are going to conduct again this session, please try to join the session, keep a pen and paper with you, and wherever I'm saying, just write it down, the step-by-step process that you are going to follow.
Okay. Okay, so if the recording is not provided, then could you please conduct the session again? Even that would be good for me.
We are going to conduct these sessions again. Don't worry.
On the same topic?
On the same topic. Don't worry. On the same topic, but in a month, it's once in a month. So don't worry. We are going to conduct again the session. Those who have missed or those who are not able to understand, those who are having some doubts and queries, they can send their doubts and queries. Okay, I will request you guys to just open your COEPD in the Google and please give your review, so that if you are going to give review, if we are going to see your response, then only we are going to give we are going to conduct these sessions, more and more sessions like this again. If you guys will not give your involvement in giving your reviews, then we will feel like these sessions are not working out, and we are not reaching more number of people. So I would request you all to give your reviews, okay, to the COPD portal. Thank you, Surendranath, for giving the review. Thank you, Akash. Okay, so I'm winding up this session now. Those who have mentioned their names will get the PPT of this session. Okay, if you still have any queries, any doubts, you can send an email to track.mentor@gmail.com, and there we are going to address all your issues. Okay, thank you so much for being here for this session. Okay.
Just a quick question, like, do we have an agile session anytime soon?
Yeah, we do have an agile session also. We do have agile session also.
Okay, when is that?
I don't know the schedule when they have planned, but I will ask you. We'll keep you updated. We'll keep you posted with the dates.
Okay, thank you very much.
Thank you.
But Shilpa, Agile is something that what we've been covered in this Jira as well, isn't it?
Pardon?
In Jira, we do the Agile process, which I think probably part of the Agile also been covered here. Is it right?
Yes,
Or
yes. That is why I showed you. I explained you the whole agile process. That is why I told you. Through Jira tool, we are going to capture the product backlog, we are going to capture the user stories, and we are going to capture sprint backlog. That is why I gave you the overview of agile methodology, and then only I moved to the Jira.
all right.
So I'm going to wind up this session now. Thank you for being here. Okay, thanks a lot.
Thank you, Shilpa.
Thank you.
Thank you, Shilpa. Have a nice day. Bye bye.
Have a nice
Yeah,
day to you
bye-bye.
too. Bye.